Hey everybody, what is a Dollfie Dream anyway? Well, in this video, we're going to cover exactly what a Dollfie Dream is, so stay tuned and find out. Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Doll Life. I'm your host Shizu-san, and this is now episode 2. Before we get into the actual content of this video, I just want to take a quick couple seconds just to say thank you to everybody that watched the first episode of Doll Life. I really appreciate it. I got a lot of likes, and I really appreciate your comments. I didn't expect to get as many comments as I did, and I just really want to say thank you to everyone for being such an encouragement for me to keep doing these videos. Thanks. So today's video, we're going to cover what is a Dollfie Dream, who makes Dollfie Dreams, what different shapes and sizes that they're going to come in, and the different anime series that can be available to you. We're also going to tackle a little bit, very general on how much they cost, like what you're looking to spend when you buy one. So first, the initial thing, what is a Dollfie Dream? Basically, a Dollfie Dream is a vinyl doll, 1/3 scale, roughly around 60 centimeters or 24 inches. And it's a soft vinyl. So that if you touch the skin of the dolls, at least in my opinion, they're kind of like velvety soft a little bit. And inside, they have like an internal skeleton. Now they do come in different shapes and sizes. So they're not all 60 centimeters. But I believe for the Dollfie Dream line, 60 centimeters is the max, and then it goes a little lower from there, depending on which one you get. But they are anime-based, or I guess you could say, instead of anime-based, because there are different ones, they are anime-styled dolls. So they have a little bit, even if they're not based off of an anime character, they might have that anime look to them. And there's different kinds, which I'll go into more later on in the video. That brings me into the next part. Who makes them, right? So Dollfie Dreams was made by a company called Volks, which is based in Japan. And initially, they didn't even make dolls. As far as I know, they had like garage kits and model kits of different things that they did in the beginning. And it wasn't until like the late 1990s that they started making dolls, which they have 3 different lines. It was the Dollfie line, Super Dollfie, and Dollfie Dreams. But in today's video, we're going to be talking specifically about Dollfie Dreams. Dollfie Dreams is something that I'm passionate about. Like, I really like them because they are anime-inspired, or I guess you could say anime-styled. And a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are based off of actual anime characters. And that's what got me into the hobby. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the different sizes that Dollfie Dreams come in. And generally, there are 6 different types. You have Dollfie Dream, Dollfie Dream 2, Dollfie Dream 3, which generally most people just refer them to DD, DD2, and DD3. And then we have also Mini Dollfie Dream, which is referred to as MDD. And then you have Dollfie Dream Sister, which is also referred to as DDS. And then lastly, you have Dollfie Dream Dynamite, which is usually referenced as DDDY, if I'm not mistaken. So first off, what we have is the Dollfie Dream, the original DD. So that one was, I don't believe that was exactly 60 centimeters tall. I think it was slightly shorter. Because if you compare the different sizes, you can see that the DD and DD2 are roughly the same size, like height-wise. And then DD3 is basically about an inch taller, I would say. Or I don't know how much that is in centimeters, but a little bit taller. But anyways, the original Dollfie Dream was made slightly different than the ones that we know now. They were more like a resin doll in that they were strung. So there was no internal skeleton. They had strings, and it was strung up on the inside, just like a resin doll is. If you don't know resin dolls or how they're strung up, you can Google it. I don't know too much about resin dolls or how they're strung up, so I can't really help you in that regards. But the initial Dollfie Dreams were strung on the inside. Now, it wasn't until the the next one, which is Dollfie Dream 2. That one actually had an internal skeleton. It's basically the same height and it's the same doll. They just changed certain things like the skeleton on the inside, little curvatures. The curvature of the body was a little bit different. I don't know how best to explain it, but they did change like the shape, I guess, a little bit. Unfortunately, I don't own a DD or a DD2 that I can show you. But I do own the next one. So let's go into a Dollfie Dream 3 or DD3. So the DD3 is the current version of Dollfie Dream for the 60 centimeter size. And the only thing that they changed on this one is it's a little bit taller, maybe by an inch, from the DD and the DD2. Another thing that they changed was they also have better joints, and it's more specifically in the elbow. Okay, so the Dollfie Dream Sister, when I'll get into next, they actually were the first ones to come with a different elbow. But basically what it is they used to not be able to bend all the way. So let me get you an example here. Okay, this is my favorite example because this is my Cheryl. And as you know, I stated in the first video, I really like Cheryl. So anyways, Cheryl here, she is a Dollfie Dream 3 body, okay? And she's going with the schoolgirl outfit today. And as you know from watching my first video, she's pretty big. The thing about the elbows here, let me just show you here. Okay, so if we give you, I'm looking at the monitor, sorry if I'm not looking at the camera. So her arm is straight right now, right? So it used to be that with DD and DD2, as far as I know, you could bend their arms roughly, I think about there, maybe just a little bit higher, okay? So when they introduced the new elbow thing for the DDS and the DD3, you can now take her arm and go all the way up. Just like that. Or how she's posed on the other side, I guess you could say that. So that's one thing that they added. The only thing is, the way they did that too, I gotta reset her arm, is that they made it so that when it bends, the elbow comes out of the socket a little bit so that it can go all the way around. Okay? So that's one of the major changes that they did make from DD2 to DD3, at least as far as I know. So this is basically what a Dollfie Dream 3 looks like. This is Cheryl, known from Macross Frontier. So let's go into another doll. Okay, so next up, I guess it'd be only natural to talk about the DDS, or the Dollfie Dreams Sister. Now the Dollfie Dreams Sister is slightly shorter. I don't know the approximate measurements, and I do have an example here. Okay, everybody, say hello to Momo. If you ever played Xenosaga 3, she is one of the characters from Xenosaga 3, and she's also in a schoolgirl themed outfit today, just like Cheryl. So this is a Dollfie Dreams Sister. They do have the same elbow mechanism, okay? So she can do the same thing that Cheryl did. Actually, she was the originator as a Dollfie Dreams Sister of the elbow system. And like I said, she's slightly shorter than the DD3 Cheryl. So actually, let me get Cheryl back so you can see. Okay. So you have Cheryl right here and Momo right here. DD3, DDS. So you can't really tell, I'm looking at my monitor from this way, the different size difference, but if I zoom out, I have to balance them here. Okay. So if I zoom out, I don't know if you can really tell. So I'm going to balance them, I'm going to try to balance them foot-wise. Alright, so you see the 2 feet roughly about the same distance, and you can see as I bring them down, there you go. there's the height difference. It's just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna cover my face. Just a little bit of a height difference, right? Okay, so let's go back. Okay. Poor Cheryl. I need to put her back. Okay, now we're back from doing the height comparison. But basically, yeah, this is the Dollfie Dreams sister. Slightly shorter. Everything is roughly the same. There's like slight nuances in like body type. Like I think the thighs are just well, not the thighs, but the legs in general is just a little bit shorter. The torso, which you can't see because she's wearing clothes, but it's a little bit more, I guess you could say, chunkier, but just slightly. It's just to give it that, you know, younger look, like a younger person, child. But yeah, this is a DDS. Another one that Volks has made is the MDD, or the Mini Dollfie Dream. Now, the Mini Dollfie Dreams are basically, I guess you could say, like 1/4 scale. They are definitely shorter than a Dollfie Dream sister. I don't know the exact measurements, but they are shorter. They're supposed to resemble like little kids. So the best example I can give you, because I don't own one, is I know that an MDD is, if you ever watch Fate Stay Night, there's Ilya. You could see that she's like a child, maybe 10. Don't really know her age, but they're definitely a lot smaller. But they'll have like the same things available to them. They do have the elbow joint thing, and all the other features as all the other girls. So that's a Mini Dollfie Dream. I wish I could show you one, but I don't have one. The only thing I could do is show you a picture of her, but that's about it. So lastly, I'm going to talk about the Dollfie Dream Dynamite, or DDDY. Okay, now the Dollfie Dream Dynamite, I don't own one that I could show you, but as far as I know, because I've seen them in doll meets, they are slightly shorter than the DD3 and slightly taller than the DDS. And the biggest appeal for the Dollfie Dream Dynamites is that they are made to be more curvy, like have a curvy figure. So they're going to have larger hips. They're going to have like, the upper thighs are going to be a little bit bigger, a little bit thicker. And then the bust size is definitely going to be bigger. Now, they do come in different shapes and sizes, obviously. Mostly, you're going to have different bust sizes, like extra small, small, medium, large, and then extra large, which I guess is the Dollfie Dream Dynamite. But I'm not 100% sure on that. But I do know that the larges come in different ways. There's like large shapely, and then there's just large. And the difference between the two is you have, how do I best describe it without sounding weird? You have large, right? Large. And then you have large shapely, which is kind of pressed together so that you would have a nice, I guess, you know, cleavage. A little uncomfortable talking about that being a guy, but yeah. So those are the different like bust sizes that you can get. And the different models that you can buy all come with different kind of bust sizes. So when you buy your Dollfie Dream, or you're looking into a Dollfie Dream, just check them, because they don't all come in the same bust sizes. So I did mention that there are 6 sizes. And I know that some of you are probably like, wait, Shizu-san, that's not right. And you know what? That's true. There is another size called Dollfie Dream Pretty, or DDP. And the reason why I didn't mention it until now is that the DDP isn't actually out yet. There are 2 of them that are slated to come out in a DDP, or Dollfie Dream Pretty size. And they are coming, I believe, in September. The same, because the pre-order time was the same time when Anastasia from Idolmaster, the DDS, was out for pre-orders. Unfortunately, you can't pre-order them now. So the DDP, height-wise, I don't own one, obviously, because they're not out yet. and I don't live in Japan, so I didn't get to see them in any of the cons, like the iDoll festivals or any of that stuff, that good stuff, or the Dollpas, or I didn't get to see them in any of those. But if anybody knows the exact measurements, comment below, because I don't really know. But yes, the 7th type is Dollfie Dream Pretty. And there's only 2 of them that are coming out in September, which is going to be Ayori and Yayoi from Idolmaster. So, in Dollfie Dreams, or Volks's Dollfie Dream lineup, there are different kinds that you can get aside from the sizes. And as far as I know, there are 4 different types. Okay, 4. The first one that I'm more passionate about is the collaboration line. And that is a line where they make Dollfie Dreams based off of actual anime characters. The next line is their standard model line, which are, they're not blank, but it's basically giving you the different sizes in a regular, I guess you could call them base characters. And then you have the D-Chord line. I don't know if I'm saying that right. And then you have the Volks original story, which is the Akihabara girls, or something like that. Akihabara after school girls, something like of that nature. Let's get into the basics first, right? So the standard bodies, or the standard models rather. So you'll have one DDS. So the Dollfie Dream sister, and that one is going to be named Mayu. There's going to be one mini Dollfie Dream, or MDD, and that one is named Rena. And you're also going to have 4 versions of the DD3 bodies, or 4 different characters, I guess you could say. So there is Yukino, Ayoi, and Candy, and Mirai. But all the different models, no matter which one you pick, they don't come with any outfits or anything other than, I think, pantsu, or panties, and a slip, like a nice little white slip. And that's all that they're going to come with. Now the D-Chords, I don't know much about, and the Akihabara girls, I don't know much about either. I don't own either of them. But the one thing I do know is that with the D-Chords and the Akihabara girls, is that they do come complete with, you know, the eyes are already in, it comes with the wig, they also come with their own clothing. So you'll have the, you know, shirt or pants or skirt and shoes and socks and underwear, whatever have you that they are going to be coming with. Now, collaborations. The collaborations generally are them collaborating with anime companies from anime shows. So like Cheryl from Macross Frontier, or even video games like Momo from Xenosaga. General idea of which ones they have, because there are a lot of them. And I'll link it in the description below. There's a link where it'll take you to every single Dollfie Dream that was released from Volks on their website. Okay, so you can look at all the different ones. Now, Dollfie Dreams also come in different skin tones. Normal skin tone is the, I guess you could say the original or whatever, but it's normal skin tone. Then they have a semi-white skin tone. I think they also came out with white, but I'm not entirely sure. I think it's just semi-white. And then they came out with the tan, which is in the D-Chord model. Now, all the base bottles come with normal skin. Okay, so lastly for this video, I just want to briefly touch upon on how much they cost, right? Save the best for last. So generally, okay, you can, brand new at least, you can buy a Dollfie Dream brand new, roughly around $450 US for a standard model. And then, of course, it goes up and up from there. But you can go from $450, and then for anime collaborated versions, those are going to go up to somewhere around $600 US to maybe, I think, about $650 US. It's roughly in that price range. But I'm going to cover in another video, like, where to buy them, how to buy them and tips. But I just want to generally let you know, a brief introduction on price, on how much these things cost. And that wraps up today's episode of Doll Life with Shizu-san. This is the end of episode 2. Thank you for watching. I really enjoyed making this content. Hopefully you found it informative. If you want to see more videos, or if you like this videos, please hit the like button and subscribe to me. I'm going to put the subscribe button right up here. So please subscribe so you get notified for any new videos that I'm going to be putting out. And this is Shizu-san signing off.